What is up, everyone? This will be my Talon jungle video, and I'm going to go over everything you need to know on how to play Talon jungle. So I think Talon jungle is really good with the Ghost Blade buffs coming in next patch. I think he's going to be very strong. If you enjoy Talon, he is definitely in a good spot right now. For runes, you can either do this page or the Conqueror page. This page is just Electrocute, really good into squishy champs. For clears, we're always going to start W level 1 or Q on single targets. You want to start Raptors solo if you're going to solo a can. And Talon with W star level 1 is really good for soloing, you know, any AoE camp, and it's extremely fast. And when you're playing Talon jungle, you really are emphasizing on your clear speed. Some important things to understand when you play Talon jungle is just how his abilities work. Honestly, his abilities aren't that complicated. Your passive is a huge part of your champion. You really do have to play heavily around your passive, and your passive is this bleed effect you see that's applied right now. And the way it works is hitting three spells on a target will proc the bleed effect. And it's really important to know how your abilities work. Your W can apply 2 stacks, and your Q will apply 1 stack. But the passive can only be procced with an auto attack. So here we W 1 stack, 2 stack, auto Q, auto attack to proc our passive. And really important to note is your Q is an auto attack reset. And if you use it while you're in melee range, it actually crits for a bit more damage. If you use it while you're further away from the target, it's going to be the dash component, which does less damage, but also lets you kind of reach the target. So just understand how that works. If you can get the crit thing, obviously more damage is more damage, but usually you're going to end up using your Q for the dash ability. And that's honestly all his abilities are, really. It's just hitting the W. You hit 1 stack, when it comes back 2, then you go for a Q auto attack reset. Remember, the Q auto attack resets are really important. This champion, you get a lot of your damage from going for a Q auto attack reset like that. It's triple reset, very broken, very important. Just remember that when you're playing Talon here. So here we're going to try to bring the camp a bit further. And with the ulti, it adds a bit more chances to get your passive lead. Your passive doesn't really have a cooldown. It just has a requirement for you to just kind of stack it on your targets. So once the bleed wears off, you can restack it once again. So here I have full clear. We obviously always play full clear. Enemy jungler is Udyr. Udyr is really tanky, so I don't really want to find myself versus him in the river because he can definitely beat me 1v1. Talon, you have to be very elusive. You have to kind of find angles with your parkour ability. And something like this, ganking, if I was to gank bot side, how do we want to approach it? We want to use our E now. E uses the dash over wall component. So what I'm waiting for is this wave to kind of go and crash into this wave. They warded here, so what I'm going to do is dodge this ward by going this way. And then I'm going to use my next E going this way. So here, now we're ready to go. I'm just going Caitlyn. You see how I got this passive stacks going? This should give us the kill. I'm going to wait for the barrier and then dash in. W for the kill. And very important things is, you know, just utilize your cooldown on the E. If you're gonna gank someone as Talon, you have to use the wall jump mechanics. It's really simple, really. When you're on this side, if you press E on this side, you'll end up here, right? You just end up across from where you're initially using it. And for builds, the Ghost Blade is just the broken item right now. If you want to win on pretty much any assassin, you just have to rush Ghost Blade. Second item is a bit more flexible. Personally, I think you can actually get away with going, you know, opportunity if you're snowballing, but generally I prefer just going Profane Hydra because I think Profane Hydra speeds up your clear a lot, and I just think it's important for Talon to have, you know, really quick and fast access to clear. So here you can use the Q to dash to speed, you know, get to the camp, speed yourself up really, but a lot of times you're going to be trying to utilize the Q for the auto attack reset and maybe the crit damage. And here you could use your W, your E to kind of speed yourself up while you're moving through the jungle. So here I can just use it to kind of get to where I'm going. And honestly, the W is so forgiving. Like the range on this ability, or just the visual of it, is so misleading. It's actually way easier to hit it than you think. So it's real forgiving. Even though it may not show that W is going to hit a target, it really will end up hitting. So just pay attention to those 3 little icons around the target. That's your bleed stack. So if I hit my W and I get 2 stacks, that's pretty much go time. You just dash in, auto attack, and let the bleed do the rest there. Really important is just having W. If you're not hitting them with W, you're not going to get your Q stacks or your passive stacks, and you're not going to be able to proc it with your auto attack and your Q ability. And that's a big thing about the Talon jungle, is utilizing that. And I really emphasize on just farming. Like, I'm just a power farmer, really. So I'm a humble beginnings man. I just want my gold. 6, obviously, we have much more opportunities to go for plays here. Very nicely done. I'm going to start with the E. Dash forward on the Senna. Go for this Caitlyn. Obviously take both kills because I am the superior being. Udyr does do dragon, so... Or Udyr does do... Udyr did the void grubs. So I have a choice. Do I do dragon here or do I just check his camp? So what I'm going to do is actually check his camp. So I'm going to drop here to see if Master Yi's movements are skeptical. It's actually 6. So what I'm thinking is... This might be a problem for me. I may be dead. We were in too deep. I should have kited a bit more. I really wanted to steal that camp. If I got 6 a bit faster, I might have been able to do something there. But honestly, it's not that bad. It worked out in our favor. Welcome to the real world, Senna. Welcome to the real world, Caitlyn. You never do that to me ever again. But we did get the Krug. That was huge. And we're in a really good spot. And overall, you really have to farm on this champion. Like, you just can't fall behind as an assassin jungler in the farm department. Rule number 1, make sure you play for yourself. If you don't play for yourself, no one's going to help you. And when you play assassin junglers, it's even more important to be playing for yourself. So you always want to emphasize on that. Remember, sometimes just save your E to just get over these walls. It speeds up your clear. And then when you want to go for ganks, always use, you know, these walls for your gank angle. The easiest thing for Talon is actually just ganking, right? Like, ganking is not going to be hard. Like, you have so many tools to just get onto people. Like, you have so many walls to just jump on and get onto people. That's not the problem. It's more about comboing and, you know, being able to skirmish and play fights well. Because sometimes if you ever go into a bad situation, you do not have an escape. And you could say your ulti is an escape, but realistically, it's not guaranteed to save you in a lot of situations. So here I have Mordekaiser actually helping me steal the blue buff for some reason. I mean, I'm not complaining. I do like it, but I'm just surprised to see it. Udyr's trying to cut me off, but I don't have smite for this. This might end up being a bad situation. You can always E through walls. Remember, if we have 2 stacks of our passive up, we can kill him. If we don't, then we cannot. I think I actually can kill him. And a big thing there is just W flashing is a combo that you can utilize. And once you hit the W and the pull part, he's pretty much dead. The bleed damage will do the rest. We have our Ghost Blade now. For boots, you can go CDR boots, or you can go into... Pretty much Swifties is like the other option. You can go Merc Trust sometimes. Ghostblade is really important to utilize the active. You're all about mobility. You're all about getting into your targets correctly. If you're not able to get onto your primary targets, you're just going to get kited and killed. Your ulti cooldown is really short though, so don't worry too much about, you know, your ulti being up or not. It's pretty much always going to be up. So all you want to do is make sure you can clear the jungle before you're going to do your play. In this situation, bot's looking real juicy. But I haven't really cleared my jungle yet, and they're forcing a really hard fight. If they're able to win that, then I'm happy. So I'll just let them kind of play it out for now. And you're always going to find yourself in these situations. Should I go now? Should I go early? And honestly, a big thing I try to emphasize on people is like, you just have to kind of, you know, you're going to have to let people die. That's a big thing. Is you're just going to have to let people die. Personally, I think he should just lantern me, and I'm going to go in here. Just lantern. Okay, a little late on him. The bleed will do the rest, right? This is a big thing we're talking about. It's actually the bleed effect. It's a lot of your damage is tied to the bleed. So you always want to proc the bleed. In some situations, you honestly want to proc bleed, run away, and then wait for it to wear off, and then look for another situation where you can go in again with your passive. Very, very important stuff. This guy, killable. So I have to play it kind of relatively well. if I don't hit the slow, the second part of my W, we talked about it a bit, is I actually don't want to go in there. This guy is killable, so what we're going to do is start with the E, hit the W, and E again, right? We're chasing you. You pretty much cannot run from Talon. Or just because he's using his empowered ability on me, and I actually didn't know if I was going to die there by empowered Q. And chasing is easy peasy, so you always want to utilize your ability to chase. And obviously I'm super happy. The game is going so good. But it can easily, team fighting can be really hard, but with your ulti, you have a lot of options to kind of run away and kite. Here doing grubbies, you can actually get some good value off with your passive. Just keep your passive kind of stacked on multiple targets. Usually I play around with like 2. You have to auto once to proc it on multiple people too. And here I'm probably gonna use my Q to make sure I can get this last hit. The name of the game, 3 stacks, they're out. You have to understand the stacks. See, once you hit 3 stacks, the red outline becomes some sort of you start to notice the outline becomes a bit different. This guy looks like he wants to all in, so what I'm going to do is actually help him. So what I need to do here is make sure we hit our W initially. Q, R, we just have to auto him once. He should die to the bleed effect. Maybe the W will help too. I'm going to E out. Oh shit. Have to slow a bit. My man was thirsty for me. This Udyr a bit dirty, nasty with it, I gotta say. Color me surprised. Also, I'm going to murder him. I have Tiamat. Tiamat will help me farm, helps you with a little bit of comboing damage. You have more bursts in your combo attacks. Honestly, didn't even think about him flashing over, but I guess this man was hungry. He was very hungry, and he ate me. He ate me for dinner. You can always eat through walls here to speed up your movement as you're crossing through the map. You can see CS-wise, we're pretty happy having, 90 CS by this point. You just want to be, you just don't want to be behind in farm. Looks like it's going to be a fight, so I'm going to go split in. This guy's actually trolling. Just have to proc my passive bleed on him. I can E through here. Caitlyn R's me, I just want to make sure. Just making sure I dodge the traps before I go in there, and obviously able to maneuver very nicely. Here, Udyr could come here in a second. I'm going to try to burn it and run. Ooh, mad. He has no flash, so when he has no flash, it's much less likely for me to die here. Unless I get a rundown. Silas, man, just do something, Silas. E him, for the God's sake. I got this Udyr running at me at Mark 4. I need you to do something. Oh, another one. Another banger. And he's dead. Yeah, let's go fight a dragon, everyone. The dragon time. It's the favorite time of the game. It's a dragon time. Dragon time. So much fun for dragon time. It's dead. And this will be a situation where you're going to run into a lot. All my camps are up. We died. We fought. We got a kill. But do we go and fight again when our cycle has been, really not done? We haven't farmed in our jungle cycle. We have to farm our jungle cycle. If you do too many mistakes like this where you're going to end up having too many farm, team is luckily for us, our team can do dragon without us. But most important thing is this jungle cycle farm, right? You have to full clear here. You just have to. You need to get this window. When you fall behind too much in your jungle clear, you just will lose the game, right? So just remember, farm time. And just one cycle of farming right now. This downtime we just have to utilize it. And the kills are going to be there. Bot lane is going to be, our bot lane is doing well. Even if they're doing poorly, I would still say just really emphasize on farming right now. You have to get this farm cycle going. Once you've cleared this farm, especially with Tiamat, the whole advantage of going Tiamat is the fact that I'm just going to be able to farm fast enough to really join in and not have to worry so much about my jungle camp cycle. So here we're able to clear out. Now this is where you get to kind of maneuver and play around your ulti and your dive potential. So here what I'm looking for is to dive. And I need to find an angle. It's probably warded. I just want to make sure if I know if Udyr's here or not. Actually, walk pretty close here. So Udyr's mid, so that's good. Senna could be here. No, I was trying to click on the lantern. Once you hit, if they're face checking you, W, let it pull back, dash into them. It's a one shot. If they're in melee range, you use the melee version of the Q. Remember, it's a melee version and a range version. Both of them actually give you an auto attack reset now, so that's good. But just very important to understand to utilize to get the passive bleed and just back out. The bleed will take care of a lot of people. What you're gonna notice is your bleed effect. You gotta really let your bleed kill people. It does insane amounts of damage, like 600 damage almost, just your bleed effect. So it will kill them, trust me. If it doesn't kill them, you just have to wait. And also really important, if you don't like Hydra, personally I think Hydra is really good. You can just go opportunity second. Third is generally just Edge of Night into like a grudge build. If you're against like a really armor heavy team, you could go grudge third, but personally I think not really necessary. Also, important thing to note is your R actually gives you 2 sacks of your passive, same with your W. And the reason why is actually very simple, right? When you just think about it. Because it has 2 applications. Same way your W goes forward, then comes back. Your R opens up and then it closes. So you can actually stack up your passive really quickly with your R. In situations, you might be able to think and utilize that. Don't really want to kill a Tom. Tom, you don't want to be going on tanky people. Not especially not until you get your specific items. I think Udyr is going to come here. Maybe not. I see Talon on the red buff. It's really good for me. So what I'm going to do is use the parkour mechanic. Really catch up here. Here, what I'm going to do is actually E into R here. Proc my passive. Damn. You can actually R during the parkour mechanic on the wall. So you can actually jump over walls. When you're in the jump over wall mechanic, you can actually press R so they don't actually see where you're going. That is a mechanic you can utilize. In that situation though, I should have just left early. Master EQ flash is a bit of a problem for us to handle. But overall, really good. Like in that situation versus the Caitlyn, what you notice is I prioritize using the melee Q instead of the ranged Q because, well, she's not moving. I can easily get into melee Q. And the damage crits for, you know, like extra 150, 200 damage, which in that situation really didn't matter. I could have just dashed on her, but it can matter in some situations if you need that extra damage. If you don't, pretty much if you don't need the dash, you shouldn't dash. But a lot of times it's better to be safe than sorry. So dashing onto them as a priority can be good. Most importantly though, that bleed. You saw sometimes you're going to notice is if you W and Q too fast, you're not going to proc with the Q, the bleed. So you're going to have to auto one more time. That's going to happen a lot. You're going to notice because the W takes a second to come back, right? Unless you wait for it like this and then you go with the Q. There's going to be a delay where your bleed passive isn't being procced, so you have to think about that. So here I'm going to E fast because I see Senna rotating. I want to prioritize killing Senna. So here we start with our ability. Butchered it completely. Might be able to get her still. See Caitlyn kind of hovering. I might be going for her here. It's not looking good. Ah, royally screwed that one. But we do have Edge Knight coming up soon. In that situation, I should just start with W. Or just hit my W or my Q after. The Edge Knight helps dramatically. You're going to find yourself in situations where it's looking really bad without the Edge Knight. But once you buy it, you're going to be able to make a lot more plays happen. And then the Grudge, really broken as well. Some people prefer Serpent's Fang. If they're against a lot of shields, you can go for it. The last item is more flexible. You can even go Maul or Death Stance, depending on which armor type you're playing against. But this level, this is usually where it gets way more fun, where you're able to kind of like now have R up pretty much all the time. Just run people down over and over again. Like in this situation, maybe Caitlyn's basing in a greedy spot. Maybe we're able to kind of kill her. Personally, I think chasing here is a bit greedy. But I'm just looking for revenge at this point. I do not recommend doing this. I think what I'm doing right now is greedy and bad. Where was my lantern? Damn, man, I played that kind of well, but it ended up not going the way we wanted it to go. The barrier plus shield and heal by Senna. Ooh, get him, Sal. Let's kill it. Ooh, you're not gonna stat check an Udyr. Udyr is one of the most broken champions in the game, thanks to Riot Games. The balance team really loves Udyr. They really love Udyr. That situation was terrible. What should I have done differently? If you know the answer, then you're going to be getting better. I obviously should have prioritized my topside jungle. I had so many camps up. Chasing for kills like that, extremely detrimental to your game. So here I'm just really behind now because of that. And Udyr is just going to sabotage and steal my camps. I can get out, but I don't know what they're doing all against me. Baron time. It's looking like a Baron angle. So here you just want to proc your passives on Baron and then kite back. Do not get too close. You don't want to be tanking. I don't want to get killed by this E, so I want to do... What the... He actually got that kill on me. That's crazy. They all died, so it was worth it in the end. But I would love to have lived there. I played it on the edge of range. I really didn't think Master Yi had range on me there. I thought I outranged him. But it's good. We've been getting all objectives. Just make sure your kills... Oh my god, that damage. Just make sure your kills are being revolved around objectives. Like if you're going to get a kill at this, the later the game goes, you need to make sure I'm getting kill objectives, objective kills, right? Like going for dragons, going for Baron. These are these things you need to be getting through your kills, right? So here what I generally like to do is start to play for, you know, like clear one side of my jungle, look for a pick, be aggressive, right? Clear one side. This situation, I'm going to clear my bot side. Then we're going to look for a pick, right? That's what Talon excels at. If you're not making picks on Talon, you're going to find yourself really falling behind. Or not falling behind, but you're not utilizing your champion's power. So here, what I want to do is possibly kill this Senna, right? Whoever is visible that seems squishy, we want to prioritize killing them here. Here we see there's no wards here. Very good, right? So what we can do is prioritize killing this Senna by doing this wall into this wall. Oops, I can't really jump over that one. The chase begins. I mean, you just have so much maneuver. Like, your ability... Damn, this E hurts. What the hell? Shit, man. Relax. You do have to pick on the weak. You have to kill Senna. You have to kill Talon. Really take advantage of their weakness. Team's on Dragon. I'm a bit low. Mastery has no abilities, though. My team has already died, so that's no good. They could Star Baron, which looks like a possibility. I have to get health, so I'm gonna get my armor pen. And a couple pink wards, because it's probably gonna look like a pink ward anyway. I can easily pick here, by the way, and this is where a big part will be, where I utilize, you know, my R as I'm jumping in. It should be good. I need like an orb here, a blue orb perhaps. They could clear extremely fast. Damn, man, I actually almost audited. I really messed that one up. Should have been able to steal with my arm. That cycle was not good for our game plan. The Udyr is becoming unstoppable. My game slowing down in a bad way. I need to go actually isolate the weak people and pick them off and then cycle and kill the Udyr. I should have stole the Baron though. That was my mistake. I should have smited faster. It's definitely an easy angle for us. This is strong, but our choices of fighting situations in which we fought have not been good. I do think I might be guilty a bit of that, so I do have to play smarter. I do think we can fight here. I think fighting here would be good. Not bad, but I was hoping to live too, if it was possible, but it may not have been possible. We just shut down the Udyr. They are getting tankier and tankier. The Yi might be a problem too. He may be a problem, but I do think we will win. Because they were able to get Baron and Dragon, but we still have more dragons. We still have more chances to pick them. Ideally, we're just getting stat checked by Udyr and Master Yi. I will kill Talon, Senna anytime. I just need to spend less time being dead and more time getting my item spikes. Like, once you spike on Grudge, it's huge. I'm not even 16. 16 is a huge number for us too. The amount of movement speed you get from your R is just insane. Not sure why he's on the red, but okay. And this is where you have to, like... No, I messed it up last time, but you do have to go for these sort of like... These sort of picks. Actually, Senna is looking like a very easy pickings. I will hit this just to kind of see what's going on. I want to find Senna, I want to find picks. Oh my god, they denied. I do have Grudge now, but I need the lantern a bit earlier so I can maneuver, but I did not have the lantern. I will have Grudge though. Oh god, my team. We're getting Master Yi so hard. It's not ideal. Me killing a Senna and dying is not worth it. Senna's 0 and 15. Uh-oh. That actually might be GG. No way we lost that game. Alright, maybe I trolled a bit. I shouldn't have trolled. I wasn't expecting Master Yi to just turn it on. I am up in 5. Crush just has to go in and clear a bit. Oh, this Yi is just absurd, but stat checks me so hard. I might upload it. We'll see. Hope you guys liked the video. Be sure to like, subscribe if you haven't already. Talon jungle. It is fun though. I will say it is a fun champion. So if you enjoy that, definitely give it a go.